Okay, so what I've done, I've drained the water, the excess water. I've made sure that I've picked them up single. So as you can see, they're dry. There's no water here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take them back to the sufuria, a plain sufuria, like that. And then what I'll do is, I'll just not, I won't put anything, not salt, no nothing. I just want to dry the water, the excess water that still remains, until they're very dry. Okay, so do that with me. Okay, so this is how you make it. I really love dancing and I love cooking as well. I have some greens here I had made earlier. They go together with this is just basically spinach only, but to be honest, this wasn't made by me. It was made by my co-host, who is now my cameraman. I have a team now. I have we're like two, so I don't really have to struggle. So I'm just basically going to dry this. Okay, so at this point you can put salt if you want, or you can put later. So me, I'll just put with my tomatoes. I don't want to put it now. Okay, or my nyanya as we call it. So this is what you do. You don't leave it dry. If you stop stirring, it will start sticking to the bottom of the sufuria. So you keep on stirring so that the heat can dry the excess water. We don't want them to be wetish when we want. Me, I like my omena dry and then with a stew. So I'm like taking something crunchy, but it's still wet. You see, it's dry and wet at the same time. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Yes. So we go on. So you better have your onions ready and your tomatoes ready. I don't like so many spices in my food, so I won't add like pepper and stuff. No. I don't do all that. I'm not excess, but it will taste the best. It will be the best, whether or not you put all that spice. So the only spice maybe I might decide to add is garam masala, because I think it goes well with something that has like a strong smell, like this one, and maybe one Royco cube, or maybe not. Really depends. And one Royco cube, just one, because you put enough salt, and too much of something is poisonous. And then what else? I don't think I'll add anything else, so I won't do so much. So if you feel like the stench of that, okay, it's not a stench, it's the smell, it's the aroma that comes with the omena. So if you feel like it feels strong for you, you can decide to do something a bit stronger. So I have this, I have the mixed spice. These are not, they're not ground. So if you could see clearly, they're not ground spices. And then they have a bit of rosemary inside. They have a bit of oregano. So they have a very nice smell. So you could also add this, but I don't want to, because me, I like the original smell. So I just do the garam masala, and it's very tiny, very tiny. So we don't want them to touch the bottom of the sufuria, so we keep on stirring like this, like this. Yes, like that. I'm excited because I like omena very much, and my ugali is ready. It's just waiting for this. So I started with ugali, and then I did my greens, and then now I'm doing this. So this is like my nyama, or like my meat. Yes, the main dish. This is the main thing now. So you want to make sure it's completely dry, as in it's not, there's no water remaining in it. And also make sure when you take off the water from the omena, you put it in a separate dish, like the way I did. I just put it in the lid. These sufurias my mom gave me as a gift. They came from Sudan. They have this kind of lid, so it's hollow and it's very nice. I've been with this sufuria for almost I think this is the 5th or 6th year, and you see they still look new. Yeah, so they're very good quality. They come from South Sudan. You can just tell me, and maybe I could hook you up with some of them. They're a very nice gift for a mother, especially one who loves cooking traditional dishes like mine. So you could see how it looks. It's getting dry. So how you know that it's dried up is when it completely sticks on the sufuria, and that means you have to keep stirring so that it doesn't stick before it's dry. Okay, So you see how it looks. So that is what we mean when it's sticky. Yes. So you want it completely dry. So I want mine extra dry. So I keep starting, and trust me, this portion is enough for me. And they're very cheap and affordable. In fact, if you could get a place, I could tell you some places that you could get them at a wholesale price. Like I know National Stadium. That is not Nyayo, no, not Nyayo, the other one, the National Stadium. The other one, which is very close to Mudurwa. Sorry. Yeah, it's close to Mudurwa and Gikomba. That one. You get it at a very fair price. Or if not that, you could go to Toy Market. They have very nice omena and very fresh. And if you want to know the best, don't take the ones that are big. This was imekoma. This is takuakali, and then they have like some small spikes. So you take this kind. This kind is the smallest. So this point we add oil. Not too much, because they also have their own oil. So it's like you're frying them. Huh? Then at this point I will add my salt. So it's like I'm frying the omena. At this point I'll just measure with this, but for you, you can measure, I think, 1/4 teaspoon, because they're a bit salty sometimes, so you don't want the saltiness to be too much. So I want mine to be crunchy, so I put the oil first. So at this point they'll be like, I'm like frying them. Trust me, this is the best recipe for omena. If you could do this every time, I think for up to like 3 or 4 times when you're cooking this, you get used to the smell. So you won't feel like it's disgusting or anything, because most people don't like cooking it because of the smell. But this thing is very nutritious. If your kids could get used to this, it's very nutritious. If your man could get used to this, it's very nutritious. And it has some hidden benefits. Ask the people from the Luo, they will tell you. Okay, so at this point I can add my onions. So they won't be brown or anything of that sort, but they will be ready. They won't be raw. So because of that, most of this red onions, or the bulb onions, they have a lot of water content inside of them. So when you put it inside, it will kind of help the food stop sticking. Could see, because of the water content inside the onion. So there we go. We continue stirring. So basically the biggest job you have here is stirring. You stir very nicely. You stir well. You smell nice. Then I can put my garam masala. Just a bit, not too much. Don't want too much of that inside. It's just for a little bit of aroma. Yeah. That smells nice. So I'm still stirring. So as you can see, the onions are not browning or anything of that sort, but the water content inside is actually drained. So the heat kind of drains the water inside the onions. Now what goes in next is the tomato. Yeah. So I won't let it there. I'll just keep stirring. So the heat will cook the onion, the tomato. So see, once you've boiled, it's very easy to make these things. Once it's boiled, it's done. That is the most important part. Yeah, looking nice, huh? Like the color? I love the color.